All right, everyone. Hello. Welcome. So I literally just came back from watching the brand new Avatar Fire and Ash film. Now, I've never seen excuse me. I've never reviewed what I meant to say was I never reviewed any of the Avatar movies here on my YouTube channel. I wanted to. There were like when the Way of Water came out. When the Way of Water came out, I really wanted to see that. I was planning and I was thinking about seeing the Way of Water in theaters back when it came out, which is like when did Way of Water came out? Like 2022, 23, something like that. Like 2023, I don't know. I don't remember. But anyway, when Way of Water came out, I was thinking to myself, I'll watch the first Avatar movie and then I'll go out in theaters and watch The Way of Water. I never did. I canceled back then. Okay, now I remember. I remember it did came out in 2022. But anyway, getting back to what I was trying to say, I canceled my plans to see The Way of Water in theaters in favor of my Christmas of celebrating my Christmas early when The Way of Water came out. So yeah, I never seen any of the Avatar movies until now, just like recently. So I have Disney Plus. So I have Disney Plus, and the first Avatar movie and The Way of Water has been sitting on Disney Plus for who knows how long. Who knows how long, and I've never seen any of it. And I was like, you know what? And now is the perfect time. Now is the perfect time. After all these years, my friends, my closest friends, have already seen these movies. My coworkers have seen the Avatar movies. I'm in the minority. Like, I've never seen any of the Avatar movies until now, until this month, December 2025. I hopped onto Disney Plus and I binged watched the first two Avatar movies, and it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. Okay, but I will give you guys my in-depth thoughts about the first two Avatar, and then Avatar: The Way of Water, in a maybe down the line in a future video or something. But anyway, we're here to talk about Fire and Ash, the brand new film. And so pretty much all the actors of the first two Avatar movies have come back and reprised their roles. Um, reprised their roles in this movie, but we have some new characters sprinkled here as well. And James Cameron is back. The screenplay, it's produced by James Cameron. The story is written. The story is co-written by James Cameron, and the screenplay is co-written by James Cameron, and he's directed. So he's juggling a lot of responsibilities, and a lot of responsibilities when it comes to making this movie. But anyway, James Cameron, who's had stated back in mid 2006 that he would love to make sequels to Avatar, which came out in 2009, if it was successful. Announced the first two sequels in early 2010 following the success of the first film, and then the untitled Avatar 3, aiming for a December 2015 release. However, the addition of two more sequels, four in total, and the development of new technology required to film, performance capture or motion capture scenes underwater, a feat never accomplished before, led to significant delays to allow the crew more time to work on the writing, pre-production, and visual effects, which is why there was so much gap and so much time gap in the development and when it comes to the production of this film. Um, But yeah, Fire and Ash started shooting simultaneously with The Way of Water in New Zealand on September 25th, 2017, and it was completed in late December 2020 after over 3 years of shooting with an estimated budget of over $400 million, making this film one of the most expensive films ever made in history, which is crazy and insane. That's an insane budget right there. That's an insane budget right there. But anyway, I want to know the budget for The Way of Water. It was between 350 to 460 millions, which is which is crazy. Which is crazy. And the first one, the budget was 237 million. 237. Okay. But yeah. Um, but yeah, I gotta say, ladies and gentlemen, when this movie, before this movie came out, there were like early critic reviews that came out, and that says that it's one of like they called it, like critics called this movie like an ultimate cinematic spectacle. Um, and and after watching this movie, I remember I did look at the critic score, the Rotten Tomatoes score, and it was like a 69% or like a 71% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I was like, okay, looks like it's a slight, downgrade from the first two Avatar movies. But walking out, I have to say this movie is probably this is a pretty good movie. It's a pretty solid good movie. I really enjoyed this movie. I had a great time. Even I had a great time. I really enjoyed this movie. I love the further development and the characterizations of Jake Sully and his family, along with um just everything that's going on. I will say this. Yeah. I'm like, when I saw the Rotten Tomatoes score like 71%, why? Why does this movie have a 71% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes? What could it possibly be? And after watching this movie, I think I know why it has a 71% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I can tell you, it's definitely the storytelling. The storytelling um was definitely the storytelling wasn't organic or natural. If that makes any sense. Then the first two, then like then its predecessors. um I thought the storytelling, obviously the storytelling of the first Avatar movie, but The Way of Water was very, I liked it. It was very smooth and cleansed and just fluid. It felt very fluid. And but here, yeah, the storytelling in this film was slightly, not a whole lot, okay? It was slightly a downgrade. It was slightly, struggling with the storytelling of this film. Another thing, another issue I have with this film is that, well, yeah, 100%. The ending of this movie felt very similar to the ending of The Way of Water, like The Way of Water. Without going to spoiler too much into spoilers, which I guess that right there was a light spoiler, but I had to like get it out of the way. Yeah, the ending of the movie felt like the ending of the second movie, and there were a lot of story beats and narrative beats in this film that felt very familiar and repetitive, and I was like, I'm not the only one in the audience like sitting down that felt like this is Am I the only one who felt like it feels very similar to the second film? And I also like the new villains in this movie. Okay, going into light spoilers. The Ash people, is that what they're called? The Ash people, the new species or the new tribe of Natari, of the Natari that are in this movie that are marketed on the posters, on the marketed the posters, and on the and they've and the trailers are focusing so much on both, obviously the protagonist Jake Sully and his family, but also this new tribe, this new like fire ash tribe. Um, yeah, they were pretty underwhelming. They were pretty underwhelming, and I really thought they were going to pack a punch. They were going to do something severe, extreme. They were going to eviscerate Jake Sully and his family, maybe literally or figuratively, both literally and figuratively. But they were very underwhelming. And they just, I thought they were gonna do much more. Maybe I don't know. Maybe James Cameron has plans for this clan, this new tribe, in the next Avatar movie, which by the way, Avatar 4 and 5 are in various stages of production. Avatar 4 is scheduled to be released in 2029, and Avatar 5 coming out in 2031. But anyway, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. They were pretty much underwhelmed. I thought they were gonna like they were they were gonna have some impact to the narrative, to the story. Not really. Not really. Just helping out just one villain helping out another. And this movie, and I do know that there are critics out there who criticize the runtime of the film. I gotta say, the movie is like 3 hours and like 17 minutes. For me, maybe it's just me, but I actually thought the one time was good because like the time flew fast for me. It felt like 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah, let's go with 2 hours and 15 minutes. I was like, oh, the movie's over. And the way the movie was over, I didn't like how the movie ended. Like when the movie ended, I was like, it felt like a cliffhanger. It felt like, it felt like a cliffhanger. Like there was no resolution. There was no resolution to anything. I guess maybe the next movie is gonna pick up literally where like it was gonna pick up where this movie left off, but like it just I wasn't a fan. I didn't like it. But anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say for Avatar Fire and Ash. Um yeah, I mean, it's like, oh, come on, guys, don't get me wrong. Like overall, I think this movie's pretty solid. It's a pretty good it's a pretty good movie. It's a really okay, fuck that. It's a really good movie overall. Don't get me wrong. It's not terrible. It's not mediocre. It's not trash. It's a really good movie. Although, if you compare this movie to the first one or The Way of Water, this is 100%. This is definitely the weakest film in this so far trilogy. But anyway, that's all I have to say for Avatar Fire and Ash. Thank you everyone for taking time to listen to my review, my thoughts. Please like and subscribe. Definitely subscribe because that would help me and my YouTube channel out a lot. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.